From broke to boss, I flipped the script. Super Trucker Podcast got me fully equipped. Left the noise behind, now I'm stacking green. Voyager Nation made me live the dream.
What every carrier wish that the owner-operator would get out of orientation day.
Yes, and I believe the first thing we have to clear is understanding what orientation really means to the right candidates. So,
yes. So number one, let's put something to bed right away. Our orientations, at least by the way, Christian did live today. I'm not sure when this video is going to be posted, but like we're going to include the link to this live when he talks about orientation process. So, but we're going to touch base on orientations here from a little bit different angle. Not so much, telling you how the process, more about what to pay attention to. So you don't waste your time with a carrier that is not compatible with your values.
Right, and then that's such an important key element to it, right? You have to know what you want first.
Yes.
Because you'll see a lot of times, man, I call them window shoppers or like orientation hoppers. These guys aren't really sure. They go for the wrong reasons. They think it's just like a big old meet and greet. But if you're not asking the right questions, and then you're just wasting your time.
Yes. So number one thing, orientation and safety training. At least here at Voyager, right? Yes, we do talk about safety during the orientation. Just the expectation there is this: you cannot onboard with Voyager unless you have at least 2 years of experience. So the expectation is already there that you are a professional driver who knows rules of the road. And maybe just on the safety side of the orientation, it's just a brief reminder, just kind of telling you how we do it, why we do it, what's a go and what's a no-go under our flag. And something like this, our expectation is also we expect you to already know those rules. We're just telling you how those rules apply at Voyager. That's it.
Yeah. So, for example, guys, like this is right to the point, to the meat and potatoes of it. Let's just take a random topic like disconnects. Let's say you are that guy that runs your business by that disconnect, connect. That's your lifestyle, and you somehow think that that's good. Now you're in orientation, and they're telling you do not disconnect. We don't play that here. I think it's take it for face value. Like if that is how you get to the bay door at your receiver and at your shipper, then you got to listen to that. This may not be the place for you.
Yeah. So, for example, if there is, we don't disconnect, wink, wink type of thing, then okay, cool, you do you. However, like for example, our orientations are very, very direct. So, for example, we would say we run legal. Period. And again, like all these guys that come in our comment section and accuse us of all evil doings. Right now we're gonna be like, I told you those motherfuckers we run legal. Like you can't do business like that. Yeah, but we do run legal, and we have a lot of successful owner operators doing it legally. So now, if during the orientation, obviously, again, nobody is expecting you to not know that you cannot do those things.
Right.
The expectation is there that you already know hours of service, you already know how everything works. We're just gonna briefly touch on, look, we are serious about it. There is no ifs and buts about it. Let's keep it safe and professional, like we all wish trucking was.
Yeah, and then one of the key factor there is, man, like to be totally honest with each other at that point, because
I would say totally honest with yourself, because at that very moment when you are told that, listen, hours of service violations are already bad enough. The disconnect is absolutely no-go. And if you know that you cannot function without disconnecting the ELD, I think that should be a perfect time for you to stand up and say, listen, guys, I respect your outlook at the things. I cannot run like this. I need to disconnect. There are carriers out there that ignoring it or whatnot. Well, not Voyager. So if that's a big deal for you, I would say nobody is going to get offended if you stand up and you're like, listen, guys, that's not going to work. I'm out.
Yeah, because that's what I'm trying to say. The entire purpose of that is like, we're not here trying to negotiate it with you. We're not trying to convince you to come to this side. Like, how you run your business will be how you run yours, and we will run ours the way we will run ours, because we both have something to lose. So, that is it. That is the orientation. That is the goal, at least in our world here at Voyager, why we do it that way.
Yes, and of course, again, like for everyone who's screaming right now into the screen, sellouts and everything else, from a human perspective, as a truck driver for many years myself, I wish hours of service would not be a thing. I wish it was like, do whatever you want to do. Just you will carry all the responsibility for the outcomes of that.
Yeah.
However, I want to be able to do as I wish. If I went to bed and I cannot fall asleep, I'm on the road anyway. What the hell? Let's just go.
Yeah, so...
And I'll sleep when I want to sleep, and then I'm not when I don't. On human perspective, I'm there with you, but there are rules, regulations, safety standards, and Voyager is a white hat carrier. We run legal.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, man, you don't even have to agree with the rules, but you do have to know the rules to play the game.
And that's exactly that. Because do I agree with those rules? No. But I'm gonna play with the rules.
Yeah. So here we go. So let me ask you something, man. In your career as an owner operator, orientation. Did you always just what was it? Wham bam, thank you, man, for the most part, because of the area you were in, or it's kind of like, hey, dog and pony show.
For the most part, it was that. I only attended in 25 years in trucking. I only attended probably 2 semi serious orientations, but we were not focused on the right things, in my opinion. But we were very safety standards, long orientations, couple days long, bullshit like that. For the most part, when I was an owner operator or a driver, I worked for most carriers were smaller carriers. We did not have a very strict safety standards. So also the environment where I came from, the expectation was already this. If you've been in trucking for 6 months, hours of service, that's not something that needs to be discussed with you. You already expected to know everything about it. And so for the most part, it was just you...
But actually, they have a point. Because, I mean, how many months do you need to learn hours of service?
No. I'm with you on that because, I was talking to my buddy. I already told that story a while back, probably a couple of times. But I was talking to my buddy about orientations at Voyager, right? And back in the day, we used to do 2 days or longer. So what it means that 2 days is kind of standard orientation process, and or longer based on your specific needs, right? And so he, just to clarify, he's asking me what do you mean 2 days? Who are you hiring? Are you trying to turn barbers into truckers, or what the hell is going on? What are you guys talking for 2 days?
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, you have no idea who are we sometimes dealing with, because I still can't wrap my head around it. How the hell, 10-year veteran in trucking who did OTR does not know hours of service? I just can't, I can't. My brain is just all over the place. But again, going back real quick to the topic, most carriers, that I worked for as an owner operator was wham bam. You come in, you fill out the application, or maybe we even fill it out for you, just asking you a few basic questions. It was not that serious. Hours of service, we would not even touch on that, and you just run real quick to do a drug test, and then you're pretty much waiting for that drug test results to come in. You already have your load and everything else. You're just waiting for the drug test results to put the stickers on.
Owner-operator partnership is very real. I got tons of guys who are making $4,000 take-home. Learn how you can do that by giving me a call at 342-5171. We are conveniently located in Lakeland, Florida. We are a Florida-based trucking company that is here to provide you resources to be successful. So once again, it's 863-342-5171. Yeah, I know. And I bet you we got a bunch of people like cringing right now, especially like those safety professionals. All right. We're not saying that safety is not important. I'm not talking about that. What we are talking about, though, is the presentation. So, for example, came from a big mega carrier, right? So we talk about the Smith system. Man, like those guys came with experience to the table. So how many times are you going to deliver the Smith system?
Yeah, that's my point.
2 days of this, and then also, kind of change that scenario to now, 10th Street Evolves, a nice little platform. Send the guys videos. Come on, man. If you were in the trenches like I was, who's even watching that video?
Nobody.
Were you giving your kid like $5 to sit there and just like like pass that? Like, so I get it. We got to do it for the game, but I mean, like, really, when it comes to all that, like, yeah, right, man. Like, I think people that drive four-wheelers should also have a refresher. What about that? Because you have to know how to handle that piece of it as well. So going back to the orientation and being effectiveness, it is about what questions you're bringing to the table. It is about, making sure you do not get caught up into that type of orientation that it kind of shifts. I don't know if you've ever been in those where, you got a bunch of good dudes in the room, everybody's got a story to tell and all of that, and somehow this orientation morphed into nothingness. There's no one's really learning how to be effective at the company.
And look, for the most part, those maybe 2 long orientations that I've been a part of was exactly nothingness. As a matter of fact, I probably learned more from people telling their back day stories at that orientation than what the safety person was kind of training us on. Because look, like how good is that orientation is like, well, the regulation 360.15/5 says in the section A, like, bro, I fell asleep halfway through it. Because the reality is this: our service are very, very simple. I don't need no freaking 2 days of regulations to run legally. That's simple as that. And then like the safety standards. If you're common sense individual, like, come on, man, like. What are we talking about? Of course you can't hit nothing.
Yeah, like that's given. And again, I don't want to make this just about safety, because it's not, man. Like, I really think I would rather meet my dispatcher and be like, hey, yo, Mike, how we gonna do this? I like to be home every other weekend. That kind of like, how do you normally run all your other guys?
So the bottom line, going again back to the topic, in our orientations, we morphed into 1-day event to where we do recognize that everyone qualifying to run with Voyager has at least 2 years of experience already. So 2 years of experience, if that's not enough for you to learn hours of service, maybe trucking is not for you. Outside of that, our orientation is mostly about making you a better businessman.
Yes.
Because that's who owner-operator is. So safety, we briefly gonna touch on it just to make sure that you understand. And if you need, let's say you've been out of the game for a little bit, or you forgot, or I don't know, something changed.
Rules the same. Don't hit shit.
I know, but we will play ball with you. We will spend as much time as necessary if this is something that you need. But to torture somebody for a whole day about nothing that any normal individual already knows, to me, that's a waste of time. So exactly, the orientation, in my opinion, when we're talking about safety aspects, right, that's kind of testing each other. So we as a company, we're testing you, and you as an owner-operator testing the company. That's a perfect time to ask questions and figure out who are you dealing with. Is Voyager gonna tolerate disconnects? Well, I can tell you right now, absolutely not. Because we will have to, not because we have a hard-on, to punish drivers. Hell no. But we are functioning in a very strict environment of safety, with a very high risks, because trucking is a high-risk industry. Insurance is extremely expensive.
Yeah, and ask the right question. So if you're that guy looking for that, and that company is going to allow you, hey, look up their safer score, because that's where it's going to matter. Check out their alerts if they have anything, because you are becoming a part of that. And
Yes.
that is exactly how you get to those alerts.
Or God forbid, something is going to happen while you're running for one of those carriers, and you're one of these guys that, think that disconnecting ELD is not a big deal as long as it's like only once a week. Man, if you get caught up into some bad situation, everything that you ever worked for is going to go to shit. Yep. Immediately. So this is why Voyager is a white hat carrier, and we're gonna tell you at the orientation straight up, we run legal. Do you have any questions? Like, do you have questions? Okay, what about this? What about this? What about how do you want me to handle this situation? How do you want me to handle that situation? All right, that's what it should be about, but not about we telling you. As a matter of fact, like on our in the conference room where we do orientations, on our cookie jar cover, there is a sticker that says $500 for a disconnect. It's made in a funny way to where, if you want a cookie or a candy there, there is a price there.
It's an expensive cookie, man.
Obviously, we do not enforce that one, but disconnecting ELD while running under Voyager, it's a $500 fine and potential termination.
Yeah.
Because these are the risks we are not willing to play ball with.
Yeah, and then again, back to the topic where I really feel that it's a holistic view of how that carrier is going to do business, and do you align with it? Because it's not just about safety. It's going to be about how you get the loads over to you, tendered over to you, where you're going. Are they willing to work with the type of what you're willing to do? Is this the right place? You're trying to go to an OTR company, and now you're trying to get that dispatcher to dispatch you locally. Well, be honest with that, because maybe that dispatcher doesn't have room on his roster for that local guy. So you have to find out how these guys operate. So again, it's not just safety; it's the whole big picture of, do you fit in there for you to excel? And
yes,
that's the perfect time to learn.
So pay attention and ask questions when it comes down to the fees, the settlements. All that stuff is being discussed. And this is what's important, because this is how you're going to get paid. So we're 100% transparent about it. And as a matter of fact, as you were doing the live and I watched it, and I just went into the description of the video, and obviously there was a link to Voyager or something. So I clicked on it. It took me to Google reviews, right? Mm-hmm. And okay, like 4.3, that's way above average for an average trucking company, because we are just too overloaded with negativity in this industry in general, because a lot of trucking companies, we have like really shitty reviews because nobody is leaving good reviews. Everybody just leaving negative stuff.
Because even what we're talking about right now, this kind of shit is hard to digest for people.
And this is where I'm going. So now I see one I obviously 5 stars. Yeah, thank you very much. Of course, that's expectation. Yeah. When I went to work for a carrier, I expected them to do their job. So that's expected. Now I went to 1 stars, right?
Oh.
And man, this one guy is now accusing something that somehow Voyager, that you signing that Voyager is going to be able to pull any amount of money from your personal bank account at any point without notice. Bro, you hallucinating.
Man, that's straight up illegal.
Yes,
not just that,
absolutely.
And then even that piece of paper would be worthless.
Absolutely.
For a bank to even give you permission for some shit like that.
Good luck going to the bank with a piece of paper like that. But look, okay. As a matter of fact, I had another owner-operator that asked me about that comment.
Okay.
Are you guys, is that for real? I'm like, look, man, does that sound for real to you? Of course it's not. Then, I think it's maybe the same guy or somebody else is now complaining about the split and about the amount of time it takes to pay, right? Mm-hmm. Dropping 1 star. Okay, I know for a fact that during the orientation, you were handed all the information about the pay structure, as a matter of fact, during the orientation, you were told on what day your first settlement is going to clear.
Yeah, actually, billing gives you a nice little lovely calendar and everything.
Exactly. So for somebody to sit for the orientation, to be told all those things, and then to get upset about the amount of time it takes, by the way, it's not 15 days.
No, and plus, like even the split, man, that's all over our website. So it's not like some kind of mystery.
Absolutely.
Released on.
So I understand if, for example, the company said we're doing 90-10 and there is no fees of any kind, and then all of a sudden it's like fees and it's not 90-10. It's like,
oh, we don't call that a fee. We call that a
we call it a charge,
a donation.
So then I understand. Then it's legit, right?
Yeah.
However, like all the most transparent things that we will tell you ahead of time before you even apply. We talk about those things at the phone call. We talk about those things intensely about during the orientation.
It's highlighted, here.
It's highlighted. So, for example, our contract, right? It's probably one of the shortest contracts I ever seen in the trucking industry, with zero small print. Like literally, there is no small print.
Nah, it's pretty straightforward.
It's all same. And every part where we talk about the money is highlighted. And I know it's highlighted for a reason, because now when the right individual is going over that part of contract, is talking to every single person that's going through orientation about all those highlighted areas specifically, because the highlighted areas has money attached to it.
Yes.
And the reason we do is because we are proud of our transparency. We are proud of our super short contract and no bullshit gimmicks. And now, okay, so what does this mean, for individual? First of all, he wasted his time and our time going through the process. Probably did not find what he was looking for, left, and now he's upset about something that was discussed ahead of time.
Owner-operator partnership is very real. I got tons of guys who are making $4,000 take-home. Learn how you can do that by giving me a call at 863-342-5171. We are conveniently located in Lakeland, Florida. We are a Florida-based trucking company that is here to provide you resources to be successful. So once again, it's 863-342-5171.
My point is this: if you do not like those things, let's say I never worked for any company that told me on the orientation, the day of my first settlement, when that's gonna get cleared.
No, it was like understood in the market you were in or whatever.
Exactly. It was just like common sense. And but
sorry,
the reason we do those things, so we don't put you in a bad situation. We don't want anybody to onboard with Voyager while confused.
Yes, because we're alleviating a lot of conversations of where we have seen confusion in the past, right? Because there's a lot of other carriers that don't operate like us, and you come with the inherited experiences from those environments into here. And then I don't know, man. And then I think sometimes people, can't take transparency for just straight face value as what it is. It's kind of like waiting for the other shoe to drop, perhaps. But I mean,
and then the other shoe drops.
And then, like, let's say even somebody did something. Okay, so then there it is, the deduction, but also a snippet of where you signed. Like, this is not a surprise, and it wasn't that long ago. And it's just about transparency. And it's kind of crazy, man, because I've even seen where somebody was like, we were just onboarding. They weren't coming on just yet, man. They were thinking about it. And then she's like, can I get a copy of the contract? I want my lawyer to review it, right? So I'm just saying this, like, cool, you want to drop and waste $500 because no lawyer's going to look at anything for less than that. But we're not changing anything. Like, it's not going to get adjusted.
Yeah, so
it's the money.
And again, like, if someone wishes to review it with their lawyer, more power to you. The only thing is, if your lawyer comes back saying, this part, should be written differently to protect you better than them, that part is not going to change. That's a contract done by our lawyer. minimized to the bare bones, almost nothingness, at the end of the day, our contract is still there to protect us and you as an extension of us. And that is all it is. So you can bring 25 lawyers to argue the contract. It's not going to change. So you either like accept it or you don't. And that's going to happen with any trucking company that has a freaking contract, because I know some companies don't even have that.
Nah, they have like that one page. And when we say protect you too, a lot of people don't understand that, especially new people to the game. But just keep in mind, like, we're just talking our interaction, right? But business is bigger than that. And when things happen and they go wrong, and we're going to say like an accident and all that, and something that happened a long time ago, let's say 2 years or something, comes back and surfaces, those contracts are designed to influence a behavior so that we're protecting ourselves by protecting us. You're getting protected because we're involved. You're leased onto this authority. You're under it. So it is intended for those. But when people go against the grain and I know this and that, change that, and then when that other shoe drops, mommy,
Yes.
now you want to be friends.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like obviously the contract is written to when bad situation happens, and now 2 years already went by, and you already forgot about it, and now it comes after you. It is still meant to wrap you up with us into one in order for insurance to pay a law firm sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars to protect your ass and our ass. And your lawyer who is giving you the advice, oh, this could be different, so it could actually separate them from you. He's not talking about that incident. He's talking just about your best interest right now when nothing happens.
Yeah.
Did you ask him like, okay, how that would affect me if something bad happens during the contract, and then 2 years later somebody files a lawsuit against you because you were a driver and that company? How is that change in the contract gonna affect you? Oh, now you separate, like that's you is you, them is them.
Yeah.
So now our insurance is no longer gonna put a couple $100,000 to protect you.
Yeah, and then that's where it is, guys. It's always about that forward thinking, and then that's what these contracts are. Because the other stuff, that's just day-to-day operation, man. Like that's very transactional, I would say.
So I think for the most part, one of the challenges that kind of like as we talking about it, I can see is one thing that we need to stop doing in the trucking industry is look at everybody as an enemy.
Yeah.
Because, for example, by default, most people think that, signing contract is automatically against you.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, well, what it does, it describes the business rules, right? So the carrier cannot mess around with you. You cannot mess around with carrier just to conduct a good business. And then also it includes all the safety features. And that's all it is.
Yeah, because it's...
So at the end of the day, during the orientation, you got to learn what is expected from you, what the carrier expects from you, what you expect from carrier. This is the perfect time to talk about all these things and put everything to bed.
Yep.
Instead of hope that something that's not being discussed is actually going to be somehow made available from under the table or something like that. None of that is going to happen.
No, and just have your key points, guys, and say your key point out loud so that is it really that important? So you want to make sure that you're asking the really important questions to make you really, really successful. I would even say, can I please see your top earner? I need to know how he runs. Let me see a settlement sheet. Boom. Areas, miles, the fuel discounts. You see that guy's paying attention to that, using the fuel card, how much time he was out. Like, there's so much value in that, man. Like,
and then right after that, you say, all right, I want that, but I only do local. And you demand that.
Oh man.
But ain't that pretty much very accurate, very aligned with things happening?
Yeah, everything that all our experiences, man, is because we've been through them and we walked through them. Like, it's hard to make this shit up. Like, it's because we've been through it.
Yeah, absolutely. But by the way, as a matter of fact, like I can see, like the contract is always like can be pretty emotional thing because like for example when you're signing a gym contract, you always kind of like expect that punch from behind of some sort.
Yeah, but
like cancellation.
But like
bullshit.
But what is your question? You're like, yo, how do I get out of this? What do I have to do to cancel this?
Yeah, but that should be
my
like
direct.
yeah. Show me on this contract. How do I get out of this? Oh, okay, cool.
Because
Is there anything else there that I need to know? Oh, okay, then it's fine.
Yeah, because no one's gonna rewrite that for you.
Of course.
No one's gonna fucking.
Let me take this crunch contract to my lawyer and
While you're eating chips. But I mean, think about it. Any contract that's out there, man, like your mortgage, what do you think that's written in your favor?
Yeah, like did you even read it, man?
No, man, you're just
because
busy.
it's this much of paperwork,
And
man.
just smiling at your wife, you're like, yeah, we did it. Like, no one's like, come on, man. The car rental, is that in your favor? Like, what contract is written in your favor?
Voyagers.
There you go.
No, I mean maybe it's not written in your favor because every company is obviously gonna watch out for their best interest, but because of the legal structure of trucking and carriers, owner operators, and insurance and liabilities perspective, at the end of the day, it is very important to tie these two entities together for that day.
Yeah, so I guess maybe in your interest is not the best verbiage, but I do want to say whatever business you're like looking to align or take a service from, they're looking for longevity and prosperity, right? So of course they're not going to tailor something like that is going to bury them because of poor business ethic from the individual.
Yeah.
So that's it. Just hold up your end of the bargain. Do what you got to do. And how many very, very successful people have we had come through here and even retire and never even talk about a contract? Ever.
Because that just common sense, man.
So if you got common sense, that's who we are looking for. My owner operators, give us a call, 863-342-5171.
All right, and if you find any white hat carrier with contract shorter than Voyagers, I'll give you a $25 Starbucks gift card at the time of orientation.
There we go.
But you're not gonna find it.
And guess what comes on the back of that Starbucks gift card?
What, Voyagers?
Starbucks contract. The Starbucks contract on how you can and cannot use it.
Oh shit! Yeah. It actually is.
Yeah. So it's everywhere, man. All right, my people, be safe.
All right, take care.
Operators looking for the best business owner opportunity, look no further. I got all the programs that are going to make you successful. Everything to operating from 2 different fuel cards, top of the line trailers with a maintenance program that is unbeatable, to plates, insurance, you name it, we got it. All you got to do is give us a call, 863-342-5171. Learn more and get started.